he's shy, there's a glinting in his eye. You know why. Right now we're juggling knives, and we're having us the time of our lives. He's gonna hook you.
The jazz
He's gonna hook you with his jazz.
butcher.
He's gonna hook you with his jazz. He's gonna hook you with his jazz. He's gonna hook you with his jazz. The jazz butcher.
We have Rocket to Memphis on the Punk Show today, and they'll be with us until 7 o'clock. And we just had a song from Rocket to Memphis called The Jazz Butcher.
The Jazz Butcher, yeah, that's a track off our Swampwater Shuffle EP, which is our first official release, and is actually one of the reasons we're over here at the moment to officially unveil it to the East Coast. Yeah, the EP is called the Swampwater Shuffle, and that track was The Jazz Butcher. It's one of the sort of sexy, sultry numbers on it.
Yes, I noticed. Actually, a lot of these songs had some real, I don't know, what do you call it? Sexy, sultry numbers on them.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you.
We specialise in sexy, sultry numbers.
The members of Rocket to Memphis come from other bands that have been around and about. Would you like to elaborate?
That's right. Well, we were in a band back in the 80s. Toys Went Berserk.
That was in Sydney.
In Sydney.
For those that don't have long memories.
Some of you may remember. Probably if you listened to the Punk Show.
Of course. How could you not? How could you not know Toys Went Berserk?
And Tracy, our bass player, aka Voodoo Viv, she was also around in the scene that time, and she was in a band called the Beer Sucking Freaks, which I
Nothing's
don't know
changed
if
there
you
either.
may remember. She's still a beer sucking freak.
Were they a Sydney band as well?
Yeah, they
Sydney,
were.
yes, yeah.
Very short-lived, really. I don't know if they actually even recorded anything, but yeah, the other Andy, who's known as Billy Bob on the on the Rocket to Memphis
Billy Bob
CD.
Burnaway?
He was from a Brisbane rockabilly band called the Convertibles, who were actually around at the same time as Toys, so that kind of late 80s. We didn't meet Andy until a couple of years ago in Perth. I was playing in a couple of local rockabilly bands in Perth, and met Andy. I'd started to demo up some of these songs for Rocket to Memphis, and we needed someone to play rhythm guitar, and I knew he was a little bit more open-minded than some people in the scene, and played him some of the tracks, and he loved it. And Tracy was right into that stuff too. So really, the kind of the core lineup was all there, and it was just a case of finding a drummer. We went through a couple of drummers initially, wore out a couple.
Yes.
And eventually we found Trevor, who'd played with Andy in a reggae band called Downbeat a few years earlier, I think in the early 90s
Just to
or
add
something.
more mix to the melting pot.
Yeah. So Trev joined us not long before we recorded that EP. So we've now got the complete Rocket to Memphis.
Now, since Toys Went Berserk, you have both been playing together in other outfits as well.
That's right. We moved to London actually in 92. We had a couple of bands over there. First one was called Feast, and we released an album. And then we had another band called Houdini. And yeah, but you know, London's a pretty tough place for for doing the live thing. I mean, there's so many bands there, and you know, we just sort of ran its course really. And then we moved to Perth.
When we first came to Perth, we put a studio album out under the name Houdini Twins, because originally in London the lineup of Houdini included a third person, a drummer as well.
I should let our audience out there know that we have Koo and Andy here from Rocket to Memphis, who have come all the way from Perth to be with us this week.
And we are over here to promote Rocket to Memphis CD called the Swampwater Shuffle, and we are doing that on Thursday night at the Oxford Art Factory, and also playing on the bill is Zombie Ghost Train and Jack Nasty Face. So come on down. Should be a good night.
So the Swampwater Shuffle EP is available right now in good record stores. We're over here to promote it. You can come and get a copy from us. and we'd like to finish off with a track from that EP of ours. It's a new dance craze. It's called The Voodoo Twist.
Thank you.